this video, we're going to talk about the report template and the match type template together. The image you're seeing is a part of the report template. Kids, where is the report template? Inside your dashboard in this column. Do you see the search terms under the keyword section? Let me teach you. Kids, if you lose anything in your dashboard, you search for it up here. What do you type? You type O. Do you see the search terms? I searched for it up here and it brings it up for me. I type, I don't know, search keywords. Do you see? It brings it up for me. If you don't have this item, please use the search bar above. I type search terms and look at it. I have several points for you in this search report, kids. The first thing is, kids, what am I seeing in the search report? Please write it down next to the search report. I want to talk about the derived search. So, what am I seeing in the search report? I zoomed out a bit so you can see it more easily. Kids, these are searches from various users, such as different types of users with which you got impressions. Also, in the universe, they have frequent searches, meaning that many different people might search for this term repeatedly, right? A light bulb should go off in your mind, meaning if there's a strange search, it should do something to be relevant, speak in its own language. For example, talk to me about that long growth that passes through the mind, etc. Should I keep this or not? Is it useful for me or not? First of all, kids, Google Ads itself doesn't give you data on those that don't have frequent searches. Well, it doesn't give you data. What does that mean? It means it doesn't show it in the search term report. This is the first part. Where do we see it? We'll see it together now. Let's put this aside for now. The next point, kids, is that the search term doesn't match the appearance, right? What was the appearance? Keyword and negative keyword, right? Keyword and negative keyword. Okay, now, kids, when you pay attention to what I'm saying, when you come into the search term report, you see a match type column. Kids, what is this match type that you see in the search term report? Write it down. It's called search term match type. Kids, it actually indicates that the search the user has done falls into which of these circles, meaning inversely the keyword match type. So kids, imagine your keyword is for Bosch washing machine repair. Just write it down. Imagine your keyword is for Bosch washing machine repair. But the user has exactly this keyword, guys. This is the big circle. But the user has exactly come and searched for Bosch washing machine repair. Kids, how? Is this search related to your keyword defined? I mean, we have to say, okay, that user search is a big tour, so which of these circles does it fall into? When it's exactly the same, Bosch washing machine repair is the keyword. And two users have searched for Bosch washing machine repair. What happened? This is exactly in the exact circle, meaning it's exactly the same keyword. If it ranks for washing machine repair, for example, suppose the user has ranked it for Bosch washing machine repair service. Guys, my keyword was Bosch washing machine repair, yeah? Now they have ranked it for me. In which of these circles is it? It is placed in the freeze circle, given what your keyword was. It was Brad, so guys, I learned in the search match type that what I see in the match type column in my search report is showing me the search match type. And what is the search match type? It is telling me in what state the user's search is. It's your keyword. Let's look here. What else do I have? From your dashboard in the search report section, I read the address. Search terms, see either here or there. The search terms of the ad group are not the same as the structure in the shopping campaign. Remember that. Okay? I have a column on the right side with my keyword. Okay? This is the same example, guys. Now you are seeing here what your keyword is. Suppose in this session report, your keyword is Botox, right? What is your keyword match type? Don't decide quickly. Think about it. I'll just give you a hint. Your keyword match type and negative keyword can be identified by their appearance. Now, the appearance of Botox, dear kids, don't be fooled by this ticker. This is because in the report writing, it is showing us the nature of the match type. Here, my keyword is Botox, and from its appearance, I am identifying that the match type of my Botox keyword is broad, right? The match type of my Botox keyword is broad. Kids, look at my user search. I don't have any data from an ad explorer. I'll tell you about this later. You just have an x-ray, don't you? Kids, what was the search term? It was Botox explainer, right? Botox explainer. Well, my keyword was Botox, Mark, and the search term was Botox explainer. In which circle did it fall? Freeze. As you can see, here it has a freeze match, and in the search, it is showing a match. Well, or buy Botox, my keyword was Botox, and the user searched for buy Botox. Again, it's in the freeze circle. Kids, if the user had searched exactly for Botox, just Botox, it would have been an exact match, right? Now imagine they went, or for example, filler injection for frown lines. The keyword was broad. Now, which one is this from that circle, kids? It's in the broad circle. That's why it's considered broad. Let me ask you a question, kids, about Botox injection. Just like that, when I look at it, I see, well, this keyword was Botox. It's broad. Okay, something was attached before it. Well, this search term is in the freeze state. It's my keyword, right? Now, the fundamental question is, why is close variant written here? It means it says the connection of my search term with the keyword is a correct freeze match. But this Botox probably forms with this Botox. Its appearance hasn't changed space-wise. Do you remember the guidance in those examples? I don't know what it is. We had men's chic. I said the element changed. A character has changed. Think about it for a few seconds, please. Kids, if the Arabic and Persian cafes are different, meaning here, for example, it's Arabic and here it's Persian, it becomes the opposite of this close variant. That one character has changed, and it's called a close variant. So we see, kids, the connection. With the keyword is in the freeze match state, but it shows as a close variant. The reason is that I can answer this curiosity for you kids. Write add door. Excluded, added hadid in your notebooks as a reference. Unadded or excluded in the report of my nature. This text means that this term, the kids wrote, why am I saying this? Because I have nothing to do with its ambiguity here. This text means explaining the space of Botox. Well, I have nothing to do with any ambiguity. Now it is excluded. Excluded means the kids have become negative, or Botox injection has been added. A good doctor has been added. Kids, let me spark an idea in your mind. We'll get to it later, and I'll tell you. Kids, The first step in this strategy is cleaning up the origins and the separation of added groups. Okay? Something is happening in the meantime. We have distributed a series of initial keywords in the sea. Okay? Now I will be talking about them in the slides. Okay? We cast a net, like casting a rose water, like casting smaller nets, like casting multi-layered rose waters, and so on. Okay? But these were things we managed to capture in our keyword research. Do we understand all the searches that users have made? And can we predict them? Maybe not entirely, but I want to tell you about a really cool and comprehensive strategy. When you actually place your keywords and they start getting traffic and impressions, you're capturing a lot of search terms that you think, you feel are at the top. I'm saying a lot of search terms that users are searching for, which allows you to find new negatives. For example, I negative the word explainer because I don't need anything related to explainer. Or I negative the word purchase as a single word. Why? Because my twisted mind tells me that nothing else will happen with purchase that I would want, right? Now, for example, I have negated purchase as a button and I explained why. Later, I can say it's for benchmarking, but I negated purchase alone. Why? Because nothing else significant will come up in this context, right? Or by checking the user's footprint. I can develop a better strategy. Now, let's go and look here. And with a bit of effort, I want to gather some more data. In the search term report, you see search terms that have received at least one impression and are frequently searched in the universe, right? If someone searches for it and sees it related, and so on, it doesn't matter if they are searched in the universe. Guys, look at this data. It says 610 clicks and 3470 impressions. I come here at the keyword level. Remember these numbers? Guys, how many impressions and clicks have all the keywords of that ad group been for me? Write down this ad group. 1001, 8,468 impressions. Okay? In the case that I go into my field, without a filter, guys, pay attention. You shouldn't have a filter if you want to be on my filters. Pay close attention a lot. 3004, 7 with 60. Guys, I said, what does it show you in the search? Those that have search frequency B naturally have impressions recorded on the keyword, and your search term is remembered. The journey is remembered, and the search term is checked with the keyword and verified. If an impression is received at each of these levels, you see this data for each keyword and search term. The point there is that in the search term, it shows you the search frequencies. That's why, let's look here, guys. Is this your total ad group down here? The number is not what you wrote a year ago, 8476 and 1001. 8476 to 1001. This 6-year-old has 10 and 3670 total on his head. Pay attention to this, kids. And sometimes, for example, when you hit this number on 10, you say, I remember whatever I have, I add these up, it doesn't become 3,000. Yes, because the rest actually align your rows. You didn't look at the start, that's why it's important to be aware. It's saying 1 out of 10, meaning 1 to 10 out of 189 total, which you actually need to display. Kids, look, there's a total. Down here, pay attention. I'll zoom in again. I have a total. Let's see. I have another total, right? In this total and the other total, the sum of these two becomes the same 1,001 and the same 8,496 total impressions and clicks that you were seeing at the keyword level of the same ad group. The very important point is that this total is showing you the impressions and clicks that are the sum of your frequently searched terms, those that are frequently searched in the universe, as a whole. So, what is this other total? It is now only displaying the clicks at the moment. Well, the difference between these two is the same impression. I don't know why it's acting up now. Yes, guys, the point is that 390 of the search terms that you don't see in this list have even had clicks. Well, but they are not actually shown to you. It doesn't mean they are useless. No, guys, don't get it wrong. It doesn't mean they are useless. It's exactly wrong. Why? Because, sir, after all, a user has clicked. For example, you might only have laptop tablets. And what did I search for? I searched for those computers that are portable, right? Okay, Google might show this to you as a search result. And it might say that it doesn't have a relevant search result, for example. And even if the user has clicked, you might see that they have made a purchase. So I can't easily conclude that this search result is useless to me. The question mark is, where can I find the rest of the search results, at least in parentheses, those that have been clicked on, to see what they were? To some extent, how can I find a portion of these other systems that don't have frequency search? Because it didn't used to do this before, but now it does. Previously, it would say if a click had been taken, but now in these systems reports, it has come to the point where impressions are recorded, and now it says other systems, guys. Even if you have taken a click, it might not show it to you. So we were able to investigate those that we see have frequency search. In addition to capturing this provision, the discrepancy is also about what we don't see and those that don't have frequency interaction. Guys, this is even an exam question, where we are saying what? The reason for the discrepancy in the number of clicks and interactions is no longer clear. The number of clicks and interactions of the search terms that we see in the search term report compared to all the keywords we have in the same ad group or the same campaign. The reason is that in your search term report list, you don't see those that don't have search frequency, and your data is actually only showing you the aggregated bottom line. That's the reason, guys. Let's go to analytics. So I can show you where we can see the rest of these search terms, at least to some extent. Guys, we went into analytics to see what is going to happen. Let's take a look. Guys, I want to go to these search terms. Maybe bring exactly 10 so I can be satisfied. All right, guys, I'm going into analytics. The first thing ahead is that we can teach you. I just want you to have the sweet part of the story. In analytics, well, in the acquisition section, Google Ads, search queries. Make it Google Doctor and have this view for it. Write it down in your notebook. Then Google Ads and analytics should be linked together. We will address this later, but I'll tell you 2 points right here. To link analytics to Google Ads, both should be on the same Gmail or whatever email you have. There should be one. It shouldn't make a difference. One should have access to the other, and both should have admin access to the same Gmail, both on ads and in the analytics property. Okay, then you link it. What Google Ads does is it exchanges this data. So, what happens next? Now I'll teach you how to link it. I just wanted to make sure you got this point. Okay, guys, in the acquisition section of analytics, I'm explaining on UA. In the Google search query section, I want to tell you a couple of really important points. So please pay close attention here. What does the search query show? The same search term we have over there is known as the search query here. It's the same search term we have. Guys, I see the search terms here, but let me tell you a point. When we organize them in ascending order, it shows me some search queries here. Pay attention that even though the clicks are 0, it has generated sessions. Also, note that it is showing me this data through Google Ads, meaning it is saying, in fact, all Google Ads queries are Google Ads search queries. Well, I'm looking at those queries. How is it possible that the clicks are 0, yet it has generated sessions, and I'm seeing this here? Let's flash back to what I mentioned about other search queries that Google Ads might not frequently search for, which it doesn't show me in the list. Well, guys, pay attention. Yo, write this down in your notebooks. I mentioned that the first point is that Google doesn't show search terms that don't have frequency. In the search report list, secondly, analytics shows you data about users who have visited the site. Analytics cannot show you data about clicks that didn't lead to a site visit. The user must visit the site for the script to actually run and send a hit package to analytics. Yet, therefore, it indicates that the user has visited the website. This package is sent to us because the user has visited the website. So why do you have the session but not the click? Guys, actually, let me pause for 2 or 3 seconds for you to think about it. Those seconds of mine don't last long, but it's more with the wind. I want you to think about how it happens that I have a session with 0 clicks. This means a user has come to my site from Google Ads. I see the session here, but the clicks are 0. I even see the CPC as 0. Let me give you an easier hint. I practically see the Google Ads parameters as 0. Here's another hint. Guys, these are practically those who didn't have a frequent search. Well, they didn't have a frequent search, and couldn't make it to the first time. Now, during that time, they might have had this perspective. This could be one of the reasons, but they clicked and came. Well, kids, I exactly said this is one of the reasons. I'll talk about another reason. They didn't have a frequent search and came to the website and Google Ads. Or its search term, data didn't have it separately to match with the analytics data. Because analytics understands that it came in with something, with a search query, but Google Ads can't match its click data with what it is to put these two together and say, look, this click came here. One reason is that you have 0 click impressions. 2, none of these pairs have said anything to it. I just want to give you a hint here. 2, the next reason might be invalid clicks or fake clicks. Write it down. These invalid clicks or fake clicks are your exam question. These invalid clicks or fake clicks might be from a user or a bot that comes, clicks, leaves, and returns, for example, or has opened different tabs and repeatedly entered different sessions and clicked. Let me say in parentheses, Google detects this and helps us by removing these invalid clicks and refunds the money to us. So, again, analytics has captured this data, which might come in with a search query or search term, but Google Ads has removed that click. Regarding the search term discussion and the report and frequency of searches, Google Ads practically refunds the money for that click and removes it. So there is no data coming over here again. And it might even be that your clicks, since they are removed, appear less than your searches in the... Note this, guys. Usually, sessions are less than your clicks because it might be that from several types of clicks. In fact, with those several types, they enter your website multiple times, open new tabs, and so on. The session hasn't changed. It's the same user entering with the same campaign name and the same source medium, and no change has occurred. So it hasn't started a new session. Therefore, although a click has been recorded again because they clicked again, one of the reasons is this. However, I also see that clicks are fewer, as these are very important points that I'm telling you. So please write them down. It is possible that Google detects that the behavior was robotic, and removes these from Google Ads. That piece has the same technique, and in its selections, it was removed from Google Ads. It removes those invalid and robotic clicks that it has detected, as well as fake clicks. So there is no click data to match with the search term again. It matches with the search query that analytics itself has understood, and can say, well, this click resulted in these sessions. Therefore, you might see the click again here, but the session has been dropped. So I mentioned 2 reasons about it and how I can identify other search terms that are happening in the meantime, and the search queries of other search terms that are occurring in the meantime, and be able to recognize them here. I can either negate them, take them over there to negate, or add them from their keyword, use them, and their data. So, from the search term report and the discussion on common search terms, we also learned completely strategic matters. Alongside this, both for the growth of our business and to prevent certain unwanted inputs, and ultimately what the definition of these common search terms is. Why might my search term clicks and impressions not match with the keywords? And on the other hand, where can I see those that I don't have, or those that don't have search frequency or data that Google doesn't provide me? Cool. Perhaps a part of it is exactly in analytics, or under the acquisition section from Google, and the search query section, which I mentioned should be linked together. Even the reason why I might have impressions without clicks can be seen here. Many people make a mistake here, saying it might have been clicked, but not entered the website. Well, if that's the case, you have recorded the click on Google's side, but analytics doesn't have data to record because the page hasn't loaded. So don't confuse this with that. This is also something that you might have a validation issue on that side, where it couldn't match this data with analytics. Analytics understood the data up to this point, but it couldn't match it with the Google Ads data that this validation or fraud detection by Google Ads itself could match, or what? Or it was part of frequency searches that actually don't have frequency, searches that don't have frequency, which again, if searched, Google hasn't differentiated this in the report. However, analytics understood up to this point and couldn't link these 2 together again, and you don't see the click here. You don't see the data from Google inside it, but it's session in Anally. iTix has removed it. The user has entered the website. Analytics was able to capture this. This is related to the discussion on search terms and the search term report. This was also a topic we just talked about. Sometimes when we look at the data in analytics, it doesn't match. Don't forget, the time zone set on the view level in analytics should match your account's time zone. Where do we see your account's time zone? At the end, you can set your time zone here. For example, my current time zone is set to Turkey, and considering Iran, I check how much time difference there is. I go to my analytics, to the view settings, and in the admin section, here in view settings, I set my time zone. I change it to the topic that Google uses for me at any time to reduce your mistakes. So I mentioned this point to you. But what is this address system, sir? Even its click, guys, look here. Its click is more than the main one. The main ones that you see, even your good impressions are different from all the clicks and impressions of your ad group in this data that you see here. The reason and the suspicion you talked about, I emphasize, these do not have a frequent search, meaning that this search is not repeated and is not familiar to Google's ears. Therefore, you don't see it here, well, it's a slap in the face. You don't observe it. All right? That's it for this topic. In the next video, guys, let's go over how to tell you which strategy to use for selecting your keyword matches. Also, there are 3 things regarding negative keywords that I want to show you again to give you a better perspective in this area and achieve better results. What I want to tell you is a very, very, very important technique. It might be contrary to what you are currently thinking.
In the next video, you will see for yourself.